Hello, wonderful finance oracle fans. I trust you're doing well today. Well, I'm here again today with wonderful information that will help you to achieve your migration dream. And I would like you to pay attention and follow me from beginning to the end because the information which I will be sharing today is crucial. I am interested in on how you can achieve your migration dream without paying an immigration lawyer or without spending money on agents, and you can do it yourself. And that is the reason why I bring out this well researched information to you. So guys, today I'm going to be talking about the 190 visa. Yeah, if you've been following up, you notice that for the past few days I've been on the Australian visa series, so I will be making justice to the 190 visa. Just in my last video I've talked about the visa 189, which is very close to visa 190, but then there is a little difference because the visa 189 is an independent visa. Both of them are permanent resident visa, but for visa 189 you can live anywhere in Australia, any state which you wish to be in Australia, whereby visa 190 you are restricted to the state which nominates you. Well, this is not going to restrict you forever, but you know it's going to restrict you for 2 years after the visa grant. That means that after the visa grant, for the first 2 years, you're going to settle in the state where you got your nomination, and you're going to work in the state where you got your nomination. That doesn't stop you from traveling to any other part of Australia. You're free to travel, you're free to go on vacation, but then you have to work in this state for 2 years. So that is what is very different. That is the major difference within visa 190 and visa 189. Both of them are permanent residency visa. Another thing is that for visa 190, it has got some advantage. It's going to attract an extra 5 points. Okay, you know, it's a point-based system, by the way. Both visa 189, visa 190, visa 491, they're all point-based visa. So if you decide to be nominated or to choose a state, okay, for nomination, that state automatically gives you 5 points, which add up to your mark. So this is one of the reasons why it becomes a main point of attraction for people, and they decide to apply for visa 190 instead of visa 189. Because someone will say, why do I have to apply for visa 190 when there is visa 189 option? The reason is that for visa 189, probably if your score is 70, you're going to remain at 70 at 189. But visa 190, you're going to get to 75, which gives you a better opportunity to get through in the pool. So that is the major advantage. So, but then, before you can apply for this visa, the first thing I will ask you to do is for visa 190, you need to identify the skill on the skill occupation list of the state which you want to apply. So that means that if you want to apply to New South Wales, you have to go to New South Wales and check if your skill is nominated in New South Wales, if it's in the nomination list. For example, if you're a chemical engineer, it is important for you to go and check, just go to Google and type skill occupation list for New South Wales. And you go through it and see if chemical engineering is nominated, then it becomes, a point of attraction for you, then you can apply. But if it's not nominated, then you go to another province, another state. You can go to Victoria, Queensland, South Australia, any state of your choice, and you go and type it. Even Tasmania, you type and check your skill, and once you find it, then you can apply. If you start application without finding your skill, then you are not going to be successful in the pool because your skill is not nominated. Okay, probably you may not even complete a form. Yeah, so that is something which is very important. But apart from looking at this skill has a lot of information which most time people don't look at them very carefully. You can also look at the visa options you have for the skills, for your skill. For example, if you go to New South Wales and type chemical engineering, so you realize that you could actually go through 190, some other options, 491, many other options which are there. So you look at all these options, which of them did you meet the requirement, and which of them will be easier for you. You can go back to look at the requirement for each of these visas. Then it becomes a well-researched platform for you to apply for this for the visa, either 190 or some other visa, which you might later find out is quite easier for you. Okay, so obviously you need to identify your occupation, ensure that the occupation is listed, okay, and you look at the visa options. And the next thing you need to do once you've seen the occupation, the occupation list, is to start your application process. By the way, the application process is similar to visa 189. Okay, so if you want it in details, you can go back to look at my video on visa 189 visa. I've put in the step-by-step process to apply. Number one thing you will need to do is to check if you're eligible. Okay, you check for the visa which you're applying, if you're eligible. Eligibility has to be formed with your academic qualification, your duration of studies, what course you study, which country you study in, some other stuff similar, will help you to identify your eligibility for this visa. So once you see you're eligible, of course age also is very crucial. So once you see you're eligible, the next thing you need to do is, in most cases, before you can do a migration skill assessment, you need to have an English language test. So you have to go back to which body is responsible for a skill assessment. I mean, if you're an engineer, it's Engineers Australia, so you can go back to their website and spend time to research. Then you'll find out if you need an English language test. For example, for the Engineers Australia, you need a language proficiency test up to competent skill for you to be able to apply. But for some skills like marketing, you don't really need to have an English language test before you can apply. So you can apply, and during your visa process, you now submit your English language test. So you need to find out which of the assessing body and what their requirements are. Some assessing body just need you to have proved your English language test or your language competency through work experience. So you need to find out what their requirement is. So for most of them anyway, you need to do a language proficiency test. So once you've done that, you do your migration skill assessment. Well, there are many other factors depending on the assessing body while your migration skill assessment will go through. For example, if you're an engineer, you need to have completed at least 4 years bachelor's degree in engineering, and you also need to have an English language proficiency. Then some work experience also is required for most of them. For IT sector, for example, they don't need work experience, but for Engineers Australia, they need work experience. So, and you also need to do some career episodes. Either you are going to register through Washington Accord, Sydney Accord, or Dublin Accord, or as an engineer graduate in Australia, or you will need to do what we call competency development report. So through this competency development report, you will be able to assess this migration skill. Okay? Otherwise, you will not be able to go through it. So guys, you need to find out which body is responsible to assess your skill, and you go through the skill assessment. Then at this point, you can do what is called expression of interest. But if you do not if you do not require an English language test for migration skill assessment, at this point you need to do your English language test. Now coming back to expression of interest, you are going to do this through the portal called Skill Select. Yeah, Skill Select is the government portal for Home Affairs, where they are going to automatically select the people who have got the highest score, who have got the highest ranking in the list according to the number of people they need for each of the skill. So this is going to be an automatic select, and they will pick people with the highest score. Okay, so it is important while you're filling up the form for expression of interest Though you will not need to upload any document, you need to ensure that wherever you fill there, you are able to back it up, back up that claim with documents when it comes to invitation to apply and filling out the application form. So guys, if you are successful in expression of interest, you're going to receive a notification letter telling you that you're successful, and at the same time you're going to receive that same letter will be inviting you to apply, and that is what is called ITA. And once you've got an invitation to apply, guys, congratulations. Next thing you need to do is to go and hit up the application portal and apply for the Australian visa. But then bear in mind that before you apply, you need to get every document ready, everything you've claimed in your expression of interest, and you need to get things like your health fitness certificate, your character clearance, and a whole lot of other things. Well, one question people keep ringing is, do I need a proof of fund? No, this is a permanent resident visa, and for the Australian immigration law, you do not need a proof of fund because you're going to come to live in Australia permanently and work. Hence, there is no need for proof of fund. So this is it about how to go on to hit up this visa application done. You can see that there is a very narrow difference between the visa 190 and visa 189. Okay, and I would like you to know that there is a benefit for visa 190. The holders of visa 190 are granted permanent residency in Australia, which allows them to live and work in Australia indefinitely. You don't need to do a visa renewal, okay? And you're also entitled to access healthcare and social security benefits. And apart from that, you will be qualifying. I mean, if you meet up with the Australian citizen requirement, you will be qualifying to become a citizen after you've lived in Australia for some years. So guys, this is it about visa 190, and if you like what you've gotten from this video today, why not give me a fat like? This is the only way you can say thank you to me. Like this video and share it to your links, to your contact, and let this video circulate and let YouTube know we are working so hard to feed you with good information. So guys, this is where I'm going to wrap it up today. If you want to get more details about the visa application process, then look up my video on visa 189. I wish you the best of luck on your migration dream. See you in my next video. Cheers.